Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. My name is Jared Lee, and I'm joined, as usual, by my lovely wife, Jamie Lee. So, Jamie, how you doing?
I am doing well, Jared. It is a beautiful day. How are you?
I'm well and agreed. Yeah. I was trying to think of which order to do that. Yes, it is. It is a beautiful day.
It's not like warm, but it's sunny, and we've had a lot of rain this winter, and so I'm very excited to see some sun and a little bit of warmth. It's like 65 or something.
Well, I think it's on your mind because we're actually recording in the daytime, which is
yes, we
rather rare for us. Jamie's parents have the kids, taking them to some of their class stuff, and we're recording in the afternoon, which
we rarely do this.
Very rare.
Yes.
Usually we record this and then it's, I don't know, typically you get to bed around midnight-ish, maybe later.
Maybe.
Depends.
Yeah.
But it's kind of nice. But it has been nice. And I was going to say, we did decide this, I think yesterday, for our Club 32 meetup dates this fall are going to be in September.
Yeah. So it's usually November, and we've done it that way for the last 4 years. We've had it like the beginning of the Christmas season in Disney World. But this year we're like, you know what, we're going to change it around a little bit because now we have a meetup in January or February every year. And so we're like, well, those are really close together. So
not to mention November is like a nightmare to try and do anything other than make shirts because it's so busy.
Oh yeah. For us, it's very busy, and, just trying some different dates. And we really thought it'd be fun to do some Halloween activities together with the Club 32 members. So yeah, so it's going to be September 20th through 22nd this year.
Yeah.
And so
we actually kind of voted, like it kind of was like a round of voting and it happened. But that's nice, which is enough time for people to book stuff if they want to book stuff.
Yeah.
And if you're in Club 32 or you want to join Club 32, you can always do that and join there. But it's nice to get that set up, and we've already got our hotel arrangements set up and everything like that. So it's nice. And the thing is, September can be a little warm. Depends. Usually.
You're not lying.
But typically toward the end of September, a lot of times the crowds are lower because people go back to school. So it's kind of a trade-off there. So
the lowest time of the year is basically, I want to say it's like the last-ish week of August.
Yeah.
Till about mid-end of September.
Yeah, because if you remember, whenever they run deals, typically, like both Disney and Universal, they'll run them around that time is when, they'll start kind of do those, like, because, people go back to school and
it's hot.
Right. Things are going on, all that stuff. But so we got all that set up, and we do have some news we're going to talk about today, including a certain
attraction, kind of
attraction. A certain attraction that was built by demolishing another attraction is itself getting demolished.
Yes.
See if you can figure that one out, that Inception. We'll talk about that one. And then we're also going to do our Epcot S tier list today. So we've done Magic Kingdom, and we're going to slowly work our way around and do all of the parks on the attractions. So we're going to do that, which is always a good time. But before we get to the news, I just want to remind everybody, if you're watching us on YouTube, first off, thank you. That channel is growing very well, and happy with the response there. But if you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel and like this video. And if you're listening to us on the good old trusty podcast audio form, which we greatly appreciate, just ask you to please, subscribe and leave us a review. We would also greatly appreciate that. And if you want even more content, and like we talked about with the meetups and everything like that, apparel discounts, you should look at joining Club 32, which is our private group where we have more content. We have live streams. Like last night we did the Club 32 show, which is a live stream we do every Tuesday where we just chat with everybody and hang out. And last night we saw William Shatner talk Rocket Man, and you may think Rocket Man's a song, you sing it, and you're like, William Shatner disagreed in the 70s, and
I had no idea this existed.
I just wanted you to know during this performance there were 3 Shatners, and this was live, so minds were blown.
You're gonna have to link that, I'm gonna put the link in the show notes just so you guys can experience this, because I had no idea what I was watching.
It's amazing.
If you want to look it up, it's William Shatner Rocket Man.
Just look up William Shatner Rocket Man, and you'll find it. He's smoking a cigarette the entire time.
And literally just saying the words to Rocket Man by Elton John.
Yeah. But he says it very Rocket Man.
I have so many questions and no answers.
I'm bored up here. It's great. Anyways, we talked about that last night during the live stream. We also have the Cool Kids Kitchen, which is a monthly live stream where we recreate typically a Disney or Universal based, food item, which this week we're going to do that on Thursday night, and we're going to do beignets, which
we've done before.
We have done before, but it's been like 3 or 4 years now.
Correct.
Maybe 3 years. So we're going to do beignets because it's beignet season.
It is beignet season.
Everything going on. So we're going to do that. Plus, we have the Club 32 Speakeasy. And like I mentioned, you got a private Facebook group, private Discord. You get 20% off of CTM apparel and 1901 Candle Company products, meetups and everything like that. So it's just a really cool group as well. And if you want, tips on your vacation, it's a great group to sort of just ask away, and we can kind of interact a little bit more in there and all that. So again, if you want to join there, go to ctmvip.com. We have monthly or yearly options, and you can even do a free trial if you'd like to do that. And so if you want to join there, we'd love to have you. So again, ctmvip.com is where you go for that. So all right, now you got William Shatner in my head, and
Sorry.
The thing about that, the more times you watch it, you get something else out of it. Like, what's funny about it, if you guys go and watch this, he's on stage. So the audience doesn't see what everybody else sees on TV, which is like at one point 3 Shatners on stage. And all of they're interacting.
Split screen.
Yeah. But during the live performance, he's just sitting there part of the time while the pre-recorded Shatner does his thing. Mm-hmm. So the audience had to just be sitting there watching William Shatner smoking a cigarette on stage. And nothing, they can't see anything else.
I think we can hear the audio.
I'm sure they probably could. They're just like, what is going on?
Listen, technology in the 70s was...
Listen, Shatner was way ahead of his time on there. I mean,
okay.
I think people clearly walked away from that. You don't watch that. And you have pre that, and then after that, you're like, I'm not the same person I was. I've witnessed something that...
Okay, let's move on.
Just saying. It's worth an entire show to talk about. But, all right, the first news story we have is that now that Festival of the Arts is sadly over, the Flower and Garden Festival is coming next week. So the topiaries are popping up, and outdoor kitchen menus have been released.
Yes, they have. So they gave us a list of what we can find at Festival or Flower and Garden Festival this year. There will be 20 outdoor kitchens and over 60 new items this year, which is a lot of items. Sadly, there are some things that are going away from last year that I'll mention in a minute. But so the couple of things just want to mention real quick that are new. So there's going to be at the Honey Bistro booth, there's going to be a honey glazed cauliflower, which looks interesting. I know Jared's probably like, bleh, but...
I mean, it just seems, yeah. I mean, I'm not either way. I'm just sort of like, okay.
It's not plant-based, but it is, it seems pretty healthy-ish. Let's see. There's Florida Fresh is, this is one that I do want to try, this whole place. So they've got a lobster tail this year, and they have a cubanito with pork belly, ham, Swiss, pickles, and mustard. Also sounds good. And then
so it's like a Cuban, that's like a Cuban sandwich just with that.
Yeah, you can kind of see like the bread.
Right. Why do they call it cubanito?
Because of the bread.
Is that an actual thing?
I've
never heard the term before. I just thought it was like a Cuban sandwich. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's not just like regular like deli like bread.
Right, yeah.
It's different, but so that looks really, really good. They got Northern Bloom has the beef tenderloin tips like they had last year. Let's see. Magnolia Terrace has got the same menu from last year, which is good. Oh, Citrus Blossom, Jared. Do you remember Citrus Blossom last year?
I do recall.
Do you remember those shrimp tempuras?
I do recall.
Yeah, we got that twice. They are returning, so we will probably hit that.
They are good. Although now, like Costco has their shrimp tempura, which is
so good.
Pretty close. I mean, it's basically what those are. But
I
yeah, it is very good.
Just had it. Literally had it this morning.
It's very good.
Earlier.
You had it for breakfast?
No, not this morning. I meant like earlier.
Fancy.
Trowel and Trellis has a chocolate mousse terrarium with matcha crumble and chocolate soil. It looks like, again, a terrarium, but it's like a dirt cup kind of thing with matcha. Mm-hmm. That looks interesting. Very Instagrammable. I don't know if I could get it though.
I don't imagine it's going to taste as well as it looks.
I don't know.
Matcha, if I remember correctly, I don't think it's kind of like, well, I don't remember it being very good, but it's been a while since I've had it.
Okay. Brunch Cot, which is the Epcot brunch, I guess.
They need to make this into an actual restaurant.
They should.
Brunch Cot is a great name.
So the cinnamon roll bites are returning. The avocado toast is returning. The lox Benedict is not, and neither is the shrimp and grits. But in those places, we have biscuits and gravy with Impossible chicken fried steak and Impossible sausage gravy.
And you lost me.
And Jared's like, no, Impossible.
And it's gone.
I'm still going to try it. I'm still going to try this because it looks very appetizing. So I'm going to try it. The Farmer's Feast outdoor kitchen. That is the one that has the different menus as the festival goes on. And they're all almost all of them are new items. They have a veal tenderloin with spring pea risotto. They've got a seared scallop. That's right. One seared scallop.
Which will probably be about $8.
Probably. A blueberry buckle with lemon creme fraiche. Creme fraiche. How do you say it?
Creme fraiche.
There you go. Seared pork tenderloin with corn risotto, peach galette. And then they've got the grilled street corn over here. This grilled street corn used to be at Florida Fresh one, the Florida Fresh Outdoor Kitchen last year. They moved it over here. That's available all through the festival. And it's the plant-based version only. So they had the regular street corn and then the plant-based. It's just the plant-based now.
Isn't corn a plant?
So we're talking about what's on top of it.
Okay. I was
So
like,
I think it had the cotija cheese last year on the regular one, and it doesn't have it on this one.
Did they have a steak corn on the cob? Because I don't recall seeing it, but I would have tried it.
It's got the land cart, and I think this is like the new one that they have set up right outside the land. Did you see pictures of that?
Yeah.
Okay. It's like I think it's right in front of the butterfly house over there. They've got hummus over there, Greek yogurt with parfait, strawberry fruit bar. I mean, stuff like that. Smoothie. Connections Eatery has a hot honey chicken sandwich, which I thought maybe you would like.
That sounds good.
Southern fried chicken sandwich with hot honey and pickles on a brioche bun.
The brioche bun sounds kind of strange. I feel like that usually needs to be on a biscuit. I'm thinking in terms of like homecoming thigh-high chicken biscuits, but I mean, I'll give it a try.
Okay, question. Canada Popcorn Bucket has a peach smash. How do you feel about peach?
I'm not a fan. I don't like peach.
Okay, it's whiskey with peach puree and lemon.
I mean, it could be okay, but peach is a fruit I've never been a big fan of. I don't like the peach flavoring.
Okay.
Like I like apple flavoring, but I don't necessarily like apples that much to eat. I can. But peaches, I don't like the flavoring nor they're too soft and mushy.
Yeah.
Because like when you eat an apple, I like a good crisp apple.
Right.
A peach is just like a mushy apple that doesn't taste as good. So at least to me,
that is so incorrect.
That's how I view it.
A peach is not a mushy apple.
This is how my brain.
It's a complete different fruit.
I know. I'm talking about the texture. The texture of it is very mushy, like a mushy apple, and I don't like the peach flavor. So,
all right,
I don't like apples
I don't agree with
that are soft.
Okay,
you know what I mean? Like mushy apples are gross. So I feel like peach is just a mushy apple with a different flavor.
Okay, moving on.
You're welcome to your opinion. I'm just telling you mine.
All right,
judged over here.
The Mexico Outdoor Kitchen, all new items this year. They always do that. They always have something new like every year. I have a flan de guayaba, tamale, and they have a I can't even pronounce these words. I'm so sorry. Sope de chiollo. I don't know. It's braised pepper braised pork on fried corn shells. Look at it. Do you see the picture? I'll put this in the show notes. Well, you can see all the pictures, but
look at it.
Do you see it? I mean,
yes, I see it.
It all looks appetizing. And they also have a couple of margaritas. They have a floral margarita, which is cherry liqueur, mezcal, hibiscus tea, and lime juice.
Okay.
It sounds interesting. Lotus House has all the same stuff. And unfortunately, some of the stuff I cannot have because they cook a lot in peanut sauce. And I can't have that. So all new things food-wise at Primavera Kitchen, which is in Italy. And they have a cannoli.
Well, that'll help get people in there.
But it's peanut butter.
Well,
I can't even try it.
Again, and it's gone.
And no, thank you.
I don't understand the Italy Pavilion. Italian food is so good. Mm-hmm. And yet the Italy Pavilion, year after year, is just like sad.
I know.
I can't recall any time I've ever been to the Italy Pavilion and been like, man, that was really good.
I know. At the Japan Pavilion in Hanami, all of the items are new, including the drinks, except for frushi. Still got that staple frushi coming back every year. It's one of my faves. They also have a ramen cup, a steam bun, some lemonade, some sake, all good stuff. Then some France, they got some new items. Joffrey's, of course, but yeah, so there's a couple of things that didn't come back, and I have noticed that they have scaled back the menu for each of the outdoor kitchens. Where they used to have 3 food items, now they have 2.
Yeah.
Kind of what we noticed was Festival of the Arts. But there's a lot of good stuff. I'm very excited. We will be at Flower and Garden Festival on next Thursday, on the 29th. So not the first day, but we will be there the second day.
Yes.
And why are we there the second day?
Well, it's less busy.
It's less busy.
The first day is typically very, very busy.
Yes.
With all sorts of people there. But the second days are typically kind of chill.
Right. And it's still not a weekend. It's still during the week. So I think we'll have better luck getting a lot more done quicker than we would on the first day. So
very true.
Yep.
That's the thinking we have.
Yeah. What do you think? You excited?
Yeah, look, a lot of it looks good. I always like new food. I was glad to see there's a lot more new food items. So
yeah, it's very, very good. So anyway, that's it.
Are you excited?
Oh, yes, I am. The Flower and Garden is my second favorite festival. So I'm.
So you're
I'm
just
pumped.
hating on food and wine.
Oh, I've been very vocal about food and wine.
That's true.
I'm very vocal.
I am curious when, the whole they're pulling it back a little bit. Which I think is
we don't
good.
know.
Well,
we don't know yet.
You would think they should.
I hope they do.
Yeah, they need to. I'm just really curious if they do that, if they do something in the summer, because I just have a hard time believing they're going to leave just multiple months open in World Showcase at Epcot with nothing to do, because at this point, that's kind of what drives Epcot is World Showcase.
Yep, I guess we'll find out here shortly.
I suppose. So, all right.
Spoos.
Next one we have is that the Easter displays at select resorts will be ready by March 3rd.
Yeah, so this includes the Grand Cottage at Grand Floridian. They also have an amazing themed egg display. This year, they will have Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway and Beauty and the Beast themed eggs for sure. And if you're not familiar with that, they put up a little looking Grand Cottage. It's a cottage where you can buy Easter treats, chocolate, Rice Krispie treats, little eggs, chocolate, vanilla, all that stuff. There's a contemporary egg display, and that's not as big. I mean, it's just a couple of eggs. I don't know. I want to say maybe 20, just on a table, basically. New ones this year will be based on Elemental and Hercules. So they told us that. And then Yacht Club will have a new Moana theme display this year. So last year they had Nemo, like a Nemo theme. This one will be Moana.
I remember.
Okay. And then Beach Club Resort will have a Flower and Garden Festival inspired display and with mini topiaries.
Okay.
Like from the festival, they're just going to be tiny. So all this will, like Jared said, be ready March 3rd and go until April 1st, which is the day after Easter.
Yes. I always like going and looking at the resort Easter egg stuff.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Got a nice excuse to. And that's something, too, people say if you're looking for things to do, maybe that aren't inside the parks or if it's really busy. It's always kind of nice to resort hop, on the monorail, especially. You can go over there and easily check out a few in the lobbies. And there's always stuff to do in the lobbies of the Disney hotels, which is nice. I mean, you could eat, you could get some drinks, you could look at stuff, you could just walk around. So
yes,
they don't card you and make sure you're staying there.
That is a nice thing.
As
long as you can get there.
I think some people think that sometimes, especially Grand Floridian, but it's no, you can just walk on in there.
But they do make you wear a shirt or a skirt, like a suit and tie.
At the door, yeah. They have people. They make everybody that comes in.
I feel like they would. If this wasn't Disney, I'd be like, you're not appropriately dressed.
I think most people feel like I don't belong here and there. I've never really felt that in there. I mean, it's nice, but it's not like. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make me feel insanely out of place wearing shorts and a t-shirt.
You're at a theme park,
right? I know, but some people will talk about how they just feel very much like, oh, if my kids are crazy or something like that. I'm just
I feel fine with just you and me. With our children, if they're loud, I'm like, I'm so embarrassed.
Well, that's any place.
Well,
it's not just Grand Floridian. That could be Pop Century, and we'll feel the same way.
That's fair, but
it's they're always fine. They're just mad.
But it's so beautiful. These eggs and the Grand Cottage. It's so pretty. It makes you feel all fresh. Is that a word I can use? Is that a dumb word to use?
It's a word you can. If you're asking if it's a word you can use, yes.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's weird to say fresh.
No, I mean,
it just seems like it's spring and blooming.
Do you mean very country clubbish?
No, I mean kind of, but not really. I don't know. I love spring. I love Easter. I love all
I do
that,
sometimes think I need to walk through Grand Floridian with like a sweater around tied around my neck.
Next time.
Yeah.
Next time, Jared.
And
Make it happen.
Talk about our tennis game we just had or something. But
Darling, he played so well in a tennis match yesterday.
and clearly developed British accents. Yeah.
Oh no, this is what do they call it? Transatlantic accent. It wasn't British.
Oh.
It was like the old Hollywood accent. It was like, where are you from? It's and they call it transatlantic accent.
It sounds very uppity to
Isn't
me.
that funny? It is uppity.
Yeah. Not
Anyway.
from the Midwest where I'm from.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's move on.
All right. Next one we have is, and this will come as a shock to many of you, so brace yourselves.
Oh no.
A permit has been filed for the NBA experience in Disney Springs to be demolished. And I think all of us can just, I think we should take a time to clap. I would argue that this thing was doomed the moment it opened, considering I don't remember a lot about Disney Quest. So those who don't remember, Disney Quest was here, which was it was like an arcade of sorts. It had double stories.
It was just a giant game place.
I know it wasn't getting a ton of foot traffic, but it definitely had an audience to it. They decided to get rid of that, tear the whole thing down.
2017, I believe.
Roughly. And then they decided to put up this NBA experience because NBA and ABC and all this stuff like that. And from the get-go, which I had questions. If you go back and listen to the show, I was like, I don't think the Disney crowd is the NBA crowd necessarily. I know they're trying to get the younger audience, but
we were very confused by this.
And when they put it in there, I never did it. I went to go do it one time, and I remember I walked up. They had when you walked in there, and by the way, they had 50 employees just standing around.
Well,
so this thing, by the way, this thing's been closed for what?
Oh gosh, I don't even know how long.
It's been closed for a long time,
right?
So when it was open, they had employees. They're just dribbling basketballs outside. And so so I walk in, and it was I think it was $27 a person to do it. And the whole idea was you went through different you could shoot at one thing, and it was different games, and you could see how you matched up against Shaq's hand or whatever it was. It was one of those things. And I was like, okay, well, they had no TV screens showing you what it was. It was just the employees explaining it to you.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. And I was yet to seeing how this was worth $25, but I don't think you could film.
Okay.
And it was it was just weird. And I don't remember if they had kid pricing. And I was just sort of at the very end, it was you could do a little game thing. And that was it. I was like, I don't think I'm going to do this. It may have been more than $25. I don't remember. Either way, not many people did it, and it closed down, and nobody has cared about it since. Now it's been vacant it's just there. So
And the permit doesn't say exactly what's being demolished. It could be sections of it, whoever the new tenant, or if there is a new tenant going in. We don't really know to what extent.
I mean, it's a big space.
It's huge.
So I'm curious as to what will go in there potentially. I mean, maybe I don't know. Maybe they put in that what was going to be over the play pavilion in Epcot goes over there. Probably not. But
probably not. Anyway.
Either way. So, yeah, that's going down. So,
okay.
It shouldn't come as a shock.
Literally, it's going down.
I mean, I don't think anybody's going to be shocked because it's been closed for a long time anyways. So,
No.
Whatever. But all right, our next story is soaring over California's last flight will be February 27th, and soaring around the world will resume departures. Jamie is very proud of this wording. On February 28th. So if you remember correctly, they temporarily were showing soaring over California for a period of time, and now they're going back to soaring around the world. And I think the consensus is most people like soaring over California better than soaring around the world.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
I feel like most people I see say they like California better.
Well, most people I have talked to actually say they like the world better.
Well, your people and our people should have a
Maybe
fight.
it's half and half. I don't know.
I don't think about the around the world is there's I don't understand the Taj Mahal, how it's clearly not real. Why put that in there?
They weren't able to film.
I get it, but
okay.
Don't put it in there. You know what I mean? It looks
okay.
clearly fake. I've seen better graphics in a video game.
Okay.
It's just weird. Some of them are kind of odd. I mean, I like both of them, but
I honestly, it's been so long since I've seen the California version. I've tried to do this ride, the California, Soaring over California, twice in the last 2 or 3 months, whenever it started, and I haven't done it yet. And I don't think I'll get a chance to, so that's all right. So
there's always YouTube.
There's always YouTube.
I kind of wish they would do more of these, like create these like temporary ones. I think
Yeah.
I've always felt like rides like this and say like Smuggler's Run and like these, like sort of what they do with Star Tours.
Yeah.
How Star Tours has multiple ones you do. Like I know a lot of people hate on Star Tours. I still enjoy it, and I like the fact that you don't really know what you're going to get, and there's so many different scenes.
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like it's not that difficult, especially Soarin'. It's not like it has a track it goes to. It just goes up there, and then you've got the music. But
Just
I kind
change
of
the screen. And
I kind of wish they would do more stuff like that, like Soarin' over Orlando.
Well, I remember how long it.
impressive.
Remember how long it took for them to film the stuff for Soarin' Around the World. It took them forever. Obviously, they have to go out of the country to get all this stuff.
But I feel like with drones now, I don't feel like it would be that. You know what I mean? Like before, you had to get a helicopter, you had to get your cameraman. I feel like honestly, with drones nowadays, like you could make your own Soarin' around whatever, like pretty easily.
Soarin' Around whatever. That's the new show.
I mean, I guess.
Soarin' Around. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what you would do it on. You could do different,
I have no idea.
Soarin' over Missouri.
Oh, it's the most boring.
Can't be worse than Mission Space. Tell you that much.
Ugh.
Soaring over, what was that? I don't know. We're landing already. Anyways. All right. Well, if you're wanting to do soaring over California, then do it by.
You have a week. You have a week.
You have a week. The countdown is going.
Yes.
And we don't know if it'll be back.
Oh gosh.
I just wanted to.
Oh gosh.
Okay, let me get the train of thought here. I thought of the Arnold voice because in my head I was thinking, how funny would it be in Soaring Over California if Arnold was in it?
Oh, because of California.
Maybe he was hanging off of the helicopter. He goes, "Ooh, California," and he hangs off, and you're like, "Oh, it's Arnold." And then that was why I said the Arnold voice, because in my head it was already there. I know you guys didn't understand that.
That was so random.
I just wanted
your
to
Arnold
let
voice.
everybody know how I got there, and now you know I'm insane.
Thank you. It's important to know that you're insane.
I'm crazy, and there we go. So, all right. I just
Okay.
want to take you along the journey with me.
Thank you.
And the last story we have is the Super Zoom Shot, which we've seen over at Magic Kingdom for a bit, is available now at Animal Kingdom.
The location is in Asia, across from the Feathered Friends in Flight area. And I mean, they have them in the other parks. Yeah, so Magic Kingdoms is in the Hub Grass, like the Plaza Garden area. Epcot is, I believe it's in like right by the fountain in the front of the park. And then Hollywood Studios is in Galaxy's Edge. And the other one I thought there was one in Animal Kingdom by Everest.
Is it still going on?
But I'm not sure if it's going on anymore.
Okay.
If it is, then awesome. But if not, there is another one, Feathered Friends in Flight.
Well, there you go.
There you go. There's not more to say about that.
All right. Well, that's all the news stories that we have. But
Okay.
this week, Jamie does have a poll time.
Poll time. Yes, thank you. This week I have a poll time. I forgot last week.
No, I
Okay.
said this week you have one.
All right. Okay, so my poll time question this week was, which of these do you think is the best quick service in Magic Kingdom? And I put parentheses, these are all places that are available to mobile order. So if they are not available to mobile order, I did not include them in the list because this would have been a very long list. So with, 30% said Columbia Harbor House. 25% said Casey's Corner. 22% said Pecos Bill, Tall Tale Inn and Cafe. 14% said Sleepy Hollow. 3% each said Pinocchio Village House,
Hoos.
and Cosmic Rays. And then we got 2% for the ones that I did not list, like Gaston's Tavern, Tortuga Tavern, Aloha Isle, like walk-up places or places that are like only seasonal. And then 1% for the lunching pad, and Friar's Nook got 0. So the winner was Columbia Harbor House.
I'm kind of surprised because we talked about how much we really like Columbia Harbor House, and I feel like it's kind of an underrated one.
I don't know if it's the fact it's underrated. I think that
it was closed for so long after they reopened. It took a while.
It was closed for a little bit. Yeah, I feel like you get a lot of food for what you pay. Like that platter you can get with like the shrimp, the chicken, the fish. I mean, we always get that. And we always share it. So I feel like that's a good value. If you're not a fish person or a seafood person, this may not be the place for you.
Yeah, but it's like Long John Silver's type fish. You know what I mean?
I love Long
like
John
I don't like fish, and yet I like the fish from here.
There you go.
That gives you an idea of.
And there's lots of seating. It's inside, so it has air conditioning. I like Casey's Corner. I love the corn dog nuggies.
Casey's Corner is always so busy though.
So busy.
And there's no. It's really hard to get a place like you're probably not going to get a spot to sit down more than likely over here unless you just really hunt for a spot.
I mean, yeah.
There's standing tables, which that's about as useful as a paper straw.
Yep. And then Pecos Bills, it's not what it used to be. It's different now.
Bring back the toppings bar.
Toppings bar is gone still. They did give you that extra meal last time you went, which was nice.
I think I mentioned on the show. Yeah,
Did you?
Well, I ordered. So when you guys were eating something, we were in the park, and then I was like, I'm really hungry, so I mobile ordered. I always get the fajita platter.
Yeah,
because I really think that's probably the most food you get, at least for in terms of like meat and like being full at any of the quick services.
Because it gives you a lot of protein.
Well, you got chicken and you have pork. Well, you get your choice, but anyways, it's got. So I went and picked it up, and I had asked for. I think I had asked for no salsa. I asked for no something. I can't remember what it was now, and it was sitting there, and they were like, "Oh, we messed up. Like we didn't make it without the thing, so we got to remake it real quick." And I was like, "Oh, okay, no worries." And then the guy was sitting there, and it was not very busy, and he was just like, "Well, do you have anybody else with you?" Like, and I was by myself.
Mm-hmm.
At the time I was like, "Oh, no, it's just me." And he goes, "Oh, well, I was gonna say we're just gonna throw this out if you had anybody else who would want to eat this." I was like, "Oh, well, I mean, I could call my wife over or something, think like I will eat both of these," and I did. I know he was thinking this is a meal for 2 people, clearly, and I was like, well, no. But, so I got a bonus fajita platter out of that. So I guess that your tactic could be to get it specific to a way, but yeah, that was nice.
Well, just so FYI, I was enjoying some spring rolls.
You were.
So I wasn't deprived or anything. He didn't take food from me. I'm just
Oh, no, I thought I said you guys were eating.
Yeah, we were.
Oh,
I had my spring rolls. I was happy. And then Sleepy Hollow, I'll just mention this one real quick. Sleepy Hollow, that was the 14% one. I feel like this one's always a favorite. But seating is hard in that one because it's only like, I don't even know, 8, 9 tables outside.
It's not very big.
Got the Nutella waffle and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So,
I'm remembering. I did share. I had like a fajita left, and I shared it with you.
Oh.
I remember that. I shared it with you. Yeah.
Okay.
I shared my bonus fajitas.
It was cold by the time I ate it. That's why.
I mean, it was, but I still.
It was a while.
Well, I remember texting you. I said, "Hey, I got a bonus fajita platter," and you were like, "I don't want to walk all the way over there." And I was like, "Well, I don't want to carry a tray across Magic Kingdom." Mm-hmm. So.
Well, a lot of people were talking about Pinocchio Village House. Sorry,
it's Hoos.
Being a decent option, which I like that place.
The flatbreads are good there.
The flatbreads are good. Someone was mentioning they have really good gluten-free chicken strips. So if you're a gluten-free person, there's chicken strips for you if you want to try those. Yeah, just a lot of people liking certain things at certain restaurants makes it their favorite. Since the Spring Roll cart is not an option, she said Sleepy Hollow. I was like, well, Spring Roll cart is not mobile order. You can't mobile order it. There's no seating, so it's just a cart. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Yeah, but Columbia Harbor House is definitely the winner.
Oh, there we go.
Definitely the winner, but it was pretty even, I would say, between the top 3. Pecos Bills, Columbia Harbor House, and Casey's. Cosmic Rays got no love, like 3%.
Cosmic Rays gets a lot of hate. It's not as bad as people make it out to be, but it's not that good either.
It's there. It's food.
It is food when you're hungry.
It's food. Yep.
Yeah,
so, all right.
All right. Well, that will do it for poll time.
Right.
If you want to be part of the next poll time, you can do that in a couple of ways. You can join the Capture the Magic Facebook community where Jamie posts those over there. Plus, it's a good community. If you got questions about trips or just want to hang out with some cool people, it's a good place to do that. And you also can do it over on Instagram at Cap the Magic, where you can. Though Jamie posts this in the stories on what day did you do it on? Mondays. Around what time?
Around somewhere between 10 and noon.
Okay. Well, people ask a lot of times.
Okay.
So look for it on Mondays.
All right.
So there we go. All right. Well, let's get to our Epcot tier list here. And so if you're new to what a tier list is, it's just a different way of sort of ranking things. And for this instance, we're doing rides at Epcot. So we've done Magic Kingdom. Did we do Hollywood Studios?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
No.
We've just done Magic Kingdom. We did one of these for Universal Studios as well. I think we've done 2 over there on the Universal show. But so the list goes, you have an S. So you've got 6 tiers you can rank something in. So the S tier is the top tier, and that stands for superb. A is the next one down, and that is a ride every time. B tier is mid. C is it's skippable. D is someone will like it. It's just not us. And F is just no. Like nobody likes this. it has no redeeming value. I guess is a good way to put that. So the idea is with it being you get instead of doing like a top 10 where most top 10s it's like the top 3 are really where it matters. I feel like this does give you more of like where do you specifically put certain things. So that's what we're going to do today. So
Okay.
And we will each have our pick and then we'll kind of come to a compromise on this.
Okay.
So we'll have one
Fair enough.
list at the end of this. But all right, so the first one we have up is Grand Fiesta Tour over in the
Grand Fiesta Tour.
Mexico Pavilion.
Okay, you want me to go first?
Well, I figured you probably already have a list made up.
I do have a list already made
Yeah,
up.
you do.
Okay, so for me, I really enjoy this ride, but it's not I'll do it every time. So I couldn't decide. I would either put it B or C.
I would put C. I think at best it's not. I mean, they've kind of revamped it. It does have some, they added some HD TVs to it, but it's, it's a cool little ride to do, but it doesn't have a huge demand for it. You know, if the wait time for more than this is more than 15 minutes, I'm very much like, I don't know about that. If it's just like a straight walk on, sure, go over there and do it real quick. But yeah. So I'd say it's almost the definition of, and skippable doesn't mean that we hate it.
No.
Skippable just means, we don't do it this time. It's not a big deal.
Right.
That's kind of,
what it
I
means.
feel like that's the definition of skippable. So, all right, let's do Canada Far and Wide. So we're going to include a couple of the shows just because there's not a ton of attractions over here in Epcot. So this is a show.
I mean, it's okay. I know. For me, I would put it at either C or D. It's kind of boring.
Considering I'm not Canadian, it doesn't
You're not Canadian.
appeal to me.
It's so I like a show where I can sit down.
This is true. You do have to stand
up here. It's 12 minutes long, so it's not too long.
I mean, it does have the 360 thing, which is cool.
That is cool.
But for me, I haven't done this in years.
Yeah.
So,
same.
I mean, I think it would fall definitely into like, at the very least, skippable, but I would put it in the D. Someone would like it, and mostly probably Canadians.
So I would do this attraction if it was such a busy day at Epcot and like all the attractions were just such like long waits. I may take time to do this one. It's because I don't.
Well, if it's hot outside, you're also in the air conditioning too,
right? And I don't think I would I don't think it would be a long wait.
No,
even on a busy day. So that's a.
I guess one of the pluses is the Canada Pavilion is really cool.
Yeah,
so it allows you to
absolutely
kind of wander around there.
They just took the scaffolding down. They finished redoing all that,
and it looks exactly the same.
Doesn't look much different, but thank you.
I don't know what they did, but it looks good job, guys. I don't know what. I'm sure there was
need a little sprucing up.
Yeah, they added some new paint on or something on it. But all right, saying that we'll get the shows out of the way. Let's do the what's the one in China called?
Reflections of China.
Reflections of China. Where would you put Reflections of China?
I would probably. I mean, they just redid it in 2020, so it's got a brand new film, which is good. I don't know. I probably put it in C or D. I like it better than the Canada one, but it's still just, again, you just have to lean against the rails. There's no seating. You just stand again.
Right.
So it's very similar to the Canada show and this 360 thing. Yeah, I would put it in D, probably.
I'm going to use the same logic I used for Canada.
Okay.
I'm not Chinese. It's fine, but I haven't done this in a long time, and nor do I really like.
You can still appreciate it even if you're not Chinese.
No, for sure. I know. I'm just saying, in terms of like me personally, like it doesn't have a ton of like once you do it once, to me, I'm sort of like I don't really know where I would be like dying to go back to see this.
I agreed.
So for me, someone will like it.
Someone will like it.
Just not as much.
Right.
At least myself.
And again, it's been years since we've done this, but maybe we should try it again and just get a refresh of what it is. So. Sure.
Yeah. We can go in there and check it out. See if it changes our mind to me.
Okay.
And let's go and do the show in France, which is
Impressions de France.
Impressions de France. Now it's been a very long time since I have done this show. So I'm probably going to rely more on you on this because I don't remember much about it. So off my cuff, I would just put it again in the D just because the other ones are in there. But
I mean, that's fine. It needs to be updated so bad. It's from the 90s. It's from the 90s.
Well, don't hate on the 90s. The 90s were pretty cool.
I understand, but it's like from the early 90s, and it's like
we had
Pogs, quality is bad.
Pogs in the 90s. Okay.
You can sit.
That's a plus.
Now, okay, it does split time between the Beauty and the Beast sing along.
That's true.
Remember, so it does have that in there sometimes. Now, which is playing, I don't know the schedule for that. It goes back and forth, but the Beauty and the Beast sing along is interesting because it like tells the story from LeFou's point of view, and so it's interesting. It's good again to do on a busy day, maybe.
So because of that, do you think it's a C because of the sing along part?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe the since you get 2 shows in one theater, maybe I would put that in C.
Okay.
Like I would do that occasionally, just not every time for sure.
Okay, that's fair. We'll put it in C.
Okay.
There we go. All right, and the last show we will do is American Adventure in the American Pavilion.
I like America. I'm an American. I'd probably put this at C. Again, it's a show and it's not something we watch. And I mean, I think the last time we watched this was a couple of years ago. It's a longer show, I think. 20 something minutes. It's a good nap spot if you've already seen it a couple times,
or you can learn a thing or two.
Well, you could. It was like tells the story of America, I guess.
Well, this has got
lots of animatronics.
Benjamin Franklin and Mark Twain. It kind of goes through stuff. Yeah, I like. So, I mean, if we're using the same logic here, I am an American, so this does appeal to me.
Okay.
So right off the bat, we're starting there. No, I'm not gonna lie and say I go to this every single time. No. I do enjoy this show better than say like Hall of Presidents over in Magic Kingdom. I think this is a better show.
Yeah, I agree. I like it better than.
And I think you do learn something. Now, I'm not going to say it's the most entertaining thing in the world.
Right.
So to be fair to it, I do think it probably falls into like the skippable, even though I do enjoy it. I'm not going to say I do it every single time.
Okay.
But the plus you have in here is it's beautiful inside there. Mm-hmm. And you do have the Voices of Liberty that many times will be singing out there.
True. That's not part of the attraction.
No, I know, but I'm saying you do have that's a part of it potentially. So you do have that going for it. But I think to be fair, we can say it's skippable. I like to maybe put it more as a B, but I think you would probably put it as a C. So
I would put it more of a C or D, but that's just me.
Well, then we'll set in the middle, and I will judge you for your not wanting to learn American
Apparently,
history.
I can't have an opinion.
Just kidding. I'm kidding. All right, I'll put it in C. Okay. All right, that is all of the shows. Let's move on to the rides here. So we've got the Imagination Pavilion and the Figment ride,
which is Journey into Imagination with Figment. Just FYI.
Yeah.
This is a D for me. Sorry, everybody, if that likes Figment, but this ride just. It's I can't even explain what I'm thinking. My brain has gone mush. That's how I feel about it.
Okay.
There you go. I say a D.
The best part about this attraction is the exit because there you have games the kids can play, and then there's meet and greets out there.
The end of it where it's so loud.
Well, that's the thing. Both of our kids. So
it's
got that loud thing. Yeah, where it's like I don't even know how to. It's just like this loud hissing, like psst noise.
I don't like it.
I mean, we went on this for years because our kids liked it, and now they're kind of out of that liking it phase. I think our son still kind of likes it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, the stars at the end when you exit,
right?
That's the only cool part.
Yeah. So I think at least it's a D. I mean, I'm tempted to put it in the F, but I think its exit being as good as it is in terms of again, it's got stuff out there. Plus, you do have the DVC lounges up there.
That's part of the pavilion, not the ride, though.
I'm just saying, it's got stuff attached to it. So I'll put it in D.
Okay.
Because I think there's one I'm going to put in F that people are getting really mad at me about. But
I know what you're talking about.
Just being honest here.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about Frozen Ever After.
Frozen Ever After. I put this one in A.
Yeah.
I put this in A because I feel like, especially with our kids, and even when we're not with our kids, I think it's a great attraction. I like the ice skating Olaf in the front or in the beginning. You might get wet when you're on it. There's a little bit of a drop.
A little bit.
I like the technology with Elsa and like it moves backwards, like she's pushing it backwards. I don't know.
I think
it's cute.
it's got a good queue. The queue's good. Like you're in the village. I think it's a solid ride. It still has, it's not as long of wait times as it used to have, but it still has very long wait times.
Yeah.
Our kids I think A is. I think as Epcot goes, it's probably I think it's an A attraction.
Absolutely. And if you get there for rope drop or you have Genie Plus, this is a no brainer to get, at least for us when we have our children with us. So
yeah, for sure. It is a great place there. If you have a wait in line outside, you can get yourself a Q beer.
Q beers.
Which I do think there'll be a shirt. Which I talked about Q beers for years.
Why don't we have a shirt this
Well, I've been working on one. I think when it come up, we're going to finally have a Q beer shirt because
that's amazing.
Yeah, I feel like it. You do have the Norway stand right there. We can go get yourself a Q beer. So
let's make it happen, Captain.
All right, fair enough.
All
right. Next one. I think we know exactly where we're going to put this, but I'm just going to go through the motions here. Mission Space.
Oh my gosh, that's an F.
It's a terrible ride. I don't really know.
I can't ride it. I literally just physically can't
ride it. Can you
do
the one that's not as intense?
I can do the less intense one. I for sure can.
But why?
But it is.
It's boring.
Yeah, it's real boring.
Like that's the thing about this. I've done the very intense one, and it is intense. But I think for most people, again, I don't necessarily want to be spun around like a top after walking around World Showcase. This is I don't know. I would love to meet somebody that just absolutely loves this attraction. I haven't met anybody yet that does, but for us, it's just an F. A
big fat no.
Yeah. Even our daughter, the last time we went on it, like we rode the less tame version and she was like, Daddy, that was boring. I was like, it is boring, honey. And she's like, I don't. Now I would say the only redeeming value of this, at least to us, is there is that playground inside.
In the queue, or it's not the queue, in the exit.
Yeah. And there's games and stuff in there. So much like Figment, its exit is the most appealing part to it.
Yeah.
So, but
great
I don't.
Place for to get out of the water. Out of
for
the
sure.
Rain. Yeah.
But I don't think it's enough to pull it out of F because I think it's a terrible ride.
I agree. I don't like it either.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Soarin'.
Soarin' is an A for me.
I'm just thinking. See, you already have a pre-made list.
Yes, I have.
I
have
am
the list made.
discussing this live.
Okay.
I'm giving the people.
Okay, I'll give this
a real-time reaction here.
I would say A or B. Now I'll say maybe because the queue is really boring.
The queue is a very big detractor to this. It's just like you're in an airport.
Like it's really boring. I mean, you can play the game, like the trivia stuff. You can, but it is very, very boring. That's really the only thing I hate about it, though. Like, I love the fact that it feels like you're flying. And again, we already talked about the show, soaring around the world and all that stuff. But I like if this didn't have like a long wait and I could just do this, like walk up and do it, I would ride it every single time. But if it's got a really long wait, I just I don't want to go through that queue unless I have Genie Plus.
Well, it's also kind of a hassle to get to. You got to go inside the Land Pavilion. You got to go down the stairs. You got to go like it's not the easiest thing to get to. Well,
sometimes malls are hard to
Well,
navigate.
it's true. I mean, abandoned malls. I'm glad they repurposed the JCPenney's into Soarin'.
Right.
But
it used to be the old movie theater.
Right.
That's where Soarin' is now.
For those of you that don't know what we're talking about, the ongoing joke on this show is that I mentioned that the Land Pavilion looks like an abandoned mall.
It's like a mall.
And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Like there's a food court in there.
Sunshine Seasons is a food court.
Like I feel like at one point you walked out of there with a lawnmower from Sears. You're like,
Garden Grill. It used to be Dillard's.
Right. Yeah. People brought coupons all the time to the JCPenney, and it was like, while we're here, let's go get a good deal on some dress shirts. And you're like, fair enough. But,
so where are you putting it?
I mean, I do enjoy the ride. I mean, the biggest drawback to it is that queue and the wait times. But I think, it's probably an A.
Okay.
I would think that's because I don't hate the ride. I like the ride.
Yeah. Same.
Again, there's just some drawbacks to it. I do like Patrick Warburton in the starting. He's great. They better not.
Warburton?
That's what I meant. Warburton. Yeah. Warburton.
Warburton?
I can't say his name.
Whoa.
Warburton. Wow.
Warburton?
I can't talk tonight.
Is that how you say his name?
I just call him Pat when we hang out. Okay. We don't get into like last names.
That made me laugh for some reason. I don't know.
Like one of the coolest voices ever. I mean, they already got Mission Space. I would have put as like a D, but they got rid of Gary Sinise on top of it. Like that gives you an F right off the bat. So if they get rid of Pat over here in Soarin', it's going B right off the bat.
All right, moving on.
All right, Spaceship Earth. I'm gonna say it's for me, it's B.
B. Yep. I said the same.
Okay.
Like,
I really like it.
me too. And our kids like it too.
They do. And the
They
wait
enjoy
times
it.
in here aren't terrible. I do wish
Depends
it's
on what time of day.
True. Now, one thing I would say is don't hit this right when you come to the park.
No.
Because especially in the mornings, it'll get really high wait times. Like wait till later and it dies down a bit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I mean, I think I would love for this to get a mini sort of refurb
Yeah.
in some scenes. But again,
Well-
at the same time, I'm like, don't touch much of it.
Well, remember they were supposed to do like a refurb or
I
like
do.
a redo.
I remember a
event
lot of
and it didn't
Epcot.
happen.
There's supposed to be a lot of things that
Yeah.
hasn't quite happened.
Yeah. It's okay.
They'll,
Anyway,
they'll circle back to it.
circle back. Circle back.
They're like, we'll get to it, guys. All right, test track.
I put Test Track in B as well. This is not one of my faves. I've had really bad luck with this ride as far as like waiting in line, I guess.
Well, it goes down a lot.
Yeah, I mean, like it's very weather affected. So like if it's raining or storming or even like a little windy, sometimes they'll just shut it down, which I mean, obviously for safety. But every time I've ridden it before we had kids, it was always single rider because the main line would just move so slowly. And now with Genie Plus, like it just like I don't know what the ratio is for this ride specifically, but I mean, we waited in line for like 80 minutes one time. It was posted 40 and they were just filtering people through Genie Plus. I know it was probably phase 4 or whatever they were in at that time, but dang, it was crazy.
I mean, this almost falls into skippable for me. Like it's an okay ride, but for all the reasons you talked about,
I still think it's fun though.
it is fun.
That's why I put it at B. Like it's good, it's fine.
I mean, okay, we can keep it at B, but
it's the weight that gets me.
everything else around. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
they talked about redoing this, which I think it's probably one where being a Chevy showcase is kind of like okay, but I liked it better when there's crash test dummies.
I like that band too.
I think it was.
I like that band too.
Is that a band?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the presidents of the United States. Was it also a band? I think.
Well, they were.
But no, when it had the crash test dummies in the ride, I thought it was better. I thought it was like funnier and kind of like because those things used to be sort of like part of people talk about that stuff. But yeah, all right, we'll put it B for now. So.
Okay.
All right, next one. People are gonna get mad at me. I don't know where Jamie's gonna put it. Is Living with the Land, and I know people enjoy this, and I'm just being honest. And again, you send all your hate mail to Eduardo. He's right over there. You can't see him. He's off camera. He's running the producing side of this. I put this as an F. It's not that I'll go on this, but I don't understand the love. Like people just be like, oh my gosh, I love Living with the Land. I don't understand it. It's a great naps thing like to go through. I don't much care about like growing plants and stuff like that. Farmers are important.
Yes.
Very important, and I very much will support them. I don't necessarily want to go on a slow ride talking about farming, though, personally speaking.
Fair enough. Now, I put this at D because, again, I don't care for this ride. I don't have any nostalgia tied to it. The only redeemable quality for me is the glimmering greenhouses, the like overlay they do at Christmas time.
Yeah, I was going to say, it does have some redeeming value with Christmas.
That I do like, and I don't think it should be at F for that reason.
And
that's why I put it at D.
And it does have pan flutes.
Yes, exactly what I was thinking.
Pan flutes they are classy. Nothing says farming like pan flutes. All right, fine. I'll say D. Because again, it's not like it's a weird thing with this. My reaction to this is more or less I'm baffled at the people that'll be like, what's your favorite ride in Epcot? They're like, Living with the Land. I'm like, how? Why? Like, of all the rides you can do, this one? And they're like, oh, I love it. And I was like, okay. Then it makes me be like, well, no. It's like, it's not I hate it. I more or less don't understand the love for it. Therefore, it makes me want to just correct it a bit and bring the median down a bit. So to get it to where it belongs, which is kind of mid, I got to really pull it down.
Okay.
I'm just trying to I'm just trying to like everything in balance, guys. Okay.
All right.
Not every, So,
all right.
Fine. We'll go D.
Okay.
I compromised. Look at me.
Thank you.
I'm compromising.
You are. Let's move on to the next one.
All right. Nemo.
The Seas with Nemo and Friends. I put this at C. This is definitely skippable for me, but we do this a lot. We do this a lot
I was
with
gonna
our
say
children.
it's skippable for us, but when you have kids,
Yeah.
although I will say, it could go B or C. The line for this usually isn't bad, although they anticipated the lines for this being hours because that queue was so long.
Well, yeah, it is very long.
I mean, you go through there and you're like, wow, they were expecting like 4-hour wait times for this.
And it's not like they can be like, here, just go this way and skip you can't.
Right.
It's permanent queue. Like it's not going anywhere.
So our kids have a fun game where they just run and it's like
the
a race.
waves or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it's very much a copy of just the aerial ride over in Magic Kingdom.
Mm-hmm. Feels like
it does need a lot of updating.
And sometimes that arm thing that controls the fish that's trying to chase marlin.
Most of the time, it's not working.
A lot of times it doesn't work.
Or sometimes it's too much light there and you can clearly see the arm.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the volume is all messed up in there. Like I feel like the audio system is definitely, it needs to be like some speakers are blown.
Yeah. Now, if it wasn't for our children, I might even put this at D, but only because, and that's why I said C, only because that part with the eastern or the current, the Australian current or whatever, with the turtles swimming, I have to close my eyes and just not look at anywhere because it makes me so motion sick. My daughter's like, okay, mommy, close your eyes. I'm like, okay. And she'll tell me, she's like, okay, we're past it. Every time. I can't do it. So
it's a weird, it's because it's like, none of this is like an HD. So it's like this like standard definition bubbles going by. It is a weird scene.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I think C. Again, our kids, we only do this for our kids, really, yeah. I think this thing needs a definite like update to it. And you don't have to like, I'm not saying you have to like redo the entire ride, but like update the audio, the visuals, stuff like that. I think it would make it a much better experience.
Yeah.
All right, since we're in the pavilion there, let's go with Turtle Talk with Crush.
I put this at C too.
I feel like it falls into C. I enjoy Turtle Talk with Crush more than Nemo. I guess technically this is kind of a show.
It is, but it's geared towards children.
Right.
So like I get it for our children.
Yeah,
it's good.
It is a lot of fun. Like especially for kids. I think C is a good, because again, if it wasn't for our kids, I wouldn't do this. Yeah,
the only thing is that if you hit it to where like they just went in for a show, you have to wait like at least 20 minutes and just didn't like.
And they don't run it. I think it only runs till like
4.
Yeah, it doesn't run till park close usually.
Yeah,
so it's got like limited hours.
But the technology is cool. The actual cast member interacting with the guests or the kids really.
Yeah, and
those kids, they ask some cute questions. Our daughter has been picked a lot for questions. She puts her hand up real high.
She does. I taught her. I was like, if you want to get picked, put the hand up real high.
Real high.
And make eye contact.
Yeah.
With a well, I guess they do have a cast member there.
Oh. Yep.
All right. Next one, let's do Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. Now, being one of the newer rides in Epcot, one might assume it goes into S or A. I think this is more of a B.
For me, I would have said A or B. Again, I have motion sickness issues with this one. I've only done it twice since it opened, which it opened 2.5 years ago.
Well, yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say, I think it's cute, right? I like the concept. Again, riding every time. If you want to go B, we can go B. I would probably put it at A because I do think it's adorable. And it's new. But I'll compromise and go B if that's what you think.
It's not that I don't like the ride. I think the wait times for it are far too high for the level of ride that it is.
Oh,
I think this is one where it's like 30 minutes or less. I'd be like, cool. But it's always, you'll almost never find this under an hour.
I do. Well, yeah.
And I think it's just like, it's not worth that. Like few rides are worth that long of a wait. This one for sure. I
like the fact that it's like you're a rat. Like
and I agree. The concept's
like,
cool, and part of me wants to give up points because it's just one of these like ones they just brought over from Paris. Like it doesn't have a lot of originality to it. I don't know if B is too harsh for it because I do like the ride. The ride's fine.
I know. That's why I put it at A.
All right, I'll put it at A temporarily and see how I feel at the end.
Okay.
Again, I don't hate it. I really feel like the wait time for me, like again, the queue is pretty cool. I do like how it's an extension of the France Pavilion back there, But the wait times just kill me on that thing.
I know.
And Genie Plus and like the Lightning Lane for it, it just, yeah.
Well, and if you rope drop it, unless you're coming from the International Gateway side, you're going to already have a wait.
Oh,
if you come from the big front of the park to over there, which is kind of unfortunate.
I mean, it is in France, probably the busiest pavilion, foot traffic wise, or one.
Yeah,
of,
but I'm just saying, since the International Gateway is right there,
right,
you just come over from there and then go get on the ride, which we did that once.
We did.
But that was, we wanted to do that.
I think we still waited like 40 minutes, though.
Did we really? No.
I think it was.
Did we really?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Maybe 30. It was a decent amount of wait, though.
Okay.
All right, let's do Moana, Journey of Water.
Moana, Journey of Water. I would stick this at B or C. Again, it's a new attraction. I think it's very beautiful. Is it something that I'm going to do every time? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's very skippable attraction for me.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, it's just a splash pad.
Well, there are parts of it that are a splash pad, and like there's a little bit of learning aspect.
I mean, it's cool. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I do think it has. So me personally, you may shock you. I may put this more at B because it does have some like nighttime aspects to it that are really cool.
Oh my gosh, we haven't been through it at night.
We haven't been to it at night.
We should do that
I still
next week.
contend I don't think this belongs in Epcot. I think that's a little baffling still. But I think as the attraction goes, like kids obviously enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's not, I know when it first opened, it was all these crazy wait times. Like you can just walk through that thing.
Right.
So the wait times for that is nice because you can just go in there. In the summertime, it's nice because again, you can get as wet as you want to in here.
And the argument too is like it doesn't have to be like a headliner attraction to be enjoyable.
For sure.
And like I said, I'm not going to go through it every time, so that's why it's skippable for me. But if you want to stick it in mid, I'm fine with that.
I do think it's almost the definition of mid. In a way, like it's a brand, like literally, it's the newest attraction, and you might think, "Oh, that belongs in like A or S or A." Mm-hmm. But I think I think being B, I don't know if it's an insult, but I think it's like what it was touted as being when they were like opening it. That's why I said like sometimes I feel like I have to bring the median down a bit. I'm like, okay, it's fine, but like let's calm down. It's a walk through splash pad for the most part. It's themed, it's nice, but it's not like the most amazing thing you're ever going to experience.
Yep.
Like when they were saying it's like some people are like, oh, it takes like 40 minutes to go through. I'm like, how? Like, are you just stopping? Like, I mean, you can obviously you go at your own pace, so it could take that long. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, like, if you're just going through like, how you normally would go through things and stop at a few places and things. I mean, you're probably talking maybe 20 minutes. Depending on crowds.
Yeah, maybe 20.
If it's not like insanely crowded, it's nothing that's going to like take you forever. So.
Well, I think we should go through it in the dark next time we're up.
I would like to see it at night. I mean, we talked to a cast member. We were there like the second day it opened or something.
She's like, do it.
Yeah, she was like nighttime. And like there are parts where it's like a lot of interaction that's cool and our kids definitely enjoyed it. So
Yep.
I think for kids, it would be probably like more of an A.
Probably.
Maybe an S or an A for kids, but... All right, last one we have here, and I think I know where it's going, is Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind.
That is superb for me.
Yeah, I think S tier is obviously where that one goes.
I know you don't really ride it.
Well, I'm bored. I've ridden it like three or four times.
Right.
It's just one where it's like the limit of my coastering, if that's a verb.
Roller coastering.
But it is a cool ride. It's very smooth.
Yeah.
It's got the music aspect to it.
So good. It's
I mean, it's I don't know what to say about it. It's a cool ride. It's a cool coaster. I think most people look forward to at least trying it out once.
I like it so much that I take medication to do it.
I'm still a bit shocked that you can ride this because I remember the first day. So this is the first ride I've ever ridden, by the way, that I didn't know anything about it going in. Mm-hmm. I'm one of these people, and our daughter's the same way. I want to know what's going to happen.
Right.
I don't like being like, if I want to know, like, if there's a dip, I want to know there's a dip. I want to know, like, certain things.
Yeah.
Because roller coasters, like, I'm not huge on roller coasters.
Right.
So all we heard was, like, when it opens, like, it's a family coaster. So I took our daughter, and I was like, I'll let you know how it is because you had no clue. So we get in there, and once we hit that reverse launch, I was like, oh, and I was worried because our daughter just being upset.
Yeah.
So she kind of got freaked out, but she's ridden it a few times. Now she kind of doesn't really want to do it too much.
Well, keep in mind, she was 5 when this opened.
It kind of freaked her out. So I was mostly concerned about, trying to be like, hey, it's okay. We're going around it. And there were parts like it's long too. You do get a lot, which is good and bad. If you don't like it, you're on there for a bit. Mm-hmm. But if you like the ride, you get to ride it for a bit. But when we got done, I was like, this is going to kill Jamie. Like because Jamie sometimes will get motion sick walking around the house.
Stop.
No, I mean,
it's true.
It happens.
True.
Like she'll just be, I'm like, what's wrong? And she's like, oh, I got up weird, and now I'm a little bit.
This is why I take Bonine.
Right. And so I came out and told you, I'm like, no, you can't do this. Like, and you're just like, I'm gonna do it. And I was like, and I was thinking, this is the same ride track, by the way. We had done over in Silver City. They have that time traveler roller coaster. Same ride vehicles where it spins, but this one
that killed me.
Is this like roller coaster that goes upside down and all this stuff while spinning. Well, she had done that a few years before, and it absolutely like wiped her out the rest of the day.
Yep, I was done.
So we were at this, and when we were writing this, it was like 4:00, and we still had to drive home. And you're like, I'm going to do it. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I'm just thinking like, you're going to be done.
Yeah.
And then the kid, like driving home is going to be like, I'm taking care of you and all the kids. And, but you wrote it and like
but I had taken Bonine or Dramamine beforehand. Yeah. And the trick I have, if anybody's curious, is during that ride, I never look at the screen. So after you do the launch and you're going through the ride, I never look at what's going on the screen, which is with the bad guy and all the. Right. I cannot look at that. I have to look in front of me, keep my head completely straight, and I'm okay. Again, with medication.
Then you sit kind of in the middle.
They say middle is the best, so it's not as intense either front or back.
Yeah.
But it's.
It is intense. The last time I rode it, I was toward the back, and I do not get motion sick. I don't think I've ever been motion sick, and I got done. And I like needed a few seconds. I was like, whoa.
I remember.
Like I remember just being like, that was weird. Like I almost felt like queasy a little bit. So even if you don't get motion sick, I feel like this one could get you. But yeah, I mean, Jamie enjoys it.
Oh my gosh, I love it. You get a different song every time. You don't know what it's going to be till it launches you. I love Guardians of the Galaxy movies. It's funny.
The queue is cool. I mean, it's got like interactivity with the queue and stuff with like the actors and things. So
it can be a bear to get a virtual queue.
It's a process
sometimes.
to do it for sure. But
But yeah, I love it. It definitely deserves its spot at S. So.
Agreed.
There is one attraction we're not going to include in this list because I don't think either one of us has ever watched it, and that's that Awesome Planet show in the land.
I don't recall ever seeing it.
We're not going to include.
I think by default it would just go into C. It'll go into D.
Probably.
Just because I don't recall ever seeing it, and it's just a show, so I feel like D.
We're just not going to include it. Yeah. So. Anyway, so you want to go over what we have?
No, I don't.
Oh.
That's all I'm just kidding. All right, our list as we have it is in the S tier, we have Guardians of the Galaxy, Cosmic Rewind. In the A tier, which is the Ride Every Time, we have Frozen Ever After, Soarin', and Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. B, which is mid, we have Spaceship Earth, Test Track, and Moana Journey in Water. C, which is skippable, we have Grand Fiesta Tour,
Impressions de France.
Sorry, I was trying to read that, and it's like very small on there. Yeah. I couldn't. Okay, Impressions de France, The American Adventure, The Seas with Nemo and Friends, and Turtle Talk with Crush. Mm-hmm. And D, which is someone will like it, just not us, is the Canada Far and Wide, the China
Reflections of China,
and we have the Journey into Imagination and Living with the Land. And in the F category, it's just no, is Mission Space. Now, I feel like for the most part, I think everybody can agree on the S and F.
I don't know. There's some people that like Mission Space. I don't know.
I do think we're going to get some hate for the Living with the Land. But
yeah, for sure.
But I feel like the people that love Living with the Land are a niche group. They're just loud.
Okay.
I think they're just very loud about it.
Well, I feel like they love what they love.
I feel like if you polled most people at Epcot, they'd be like, if you just went on to ask them, they'd be like, what? And like, I don't know. Like, they wouldn't know. But you've got the people that hear it, and they're just very loud. Fair enough. God bless you. God bless you. All right.
Anyway, that's our list.
That is our list, and that will do it for the show.
Okay.
So be sure, again, follow us on social media. On all of the socials, we're at Cap the Magic, except for TikTok, we are at Capture the Magic. And again, if you want video versions of the show and you want to see some show clips, head over to YouTube at CTM Podcast, and you can catch video versions of the show over there. And be sure to check out the main YouTube channel, which is at Cap the Magic, which is growing a lot. We have a lot of edited videos there about like Epic Universe construction updates, a lot of Epic Universe updates, if I'm being quite honest. Mm-hmm. And we have some videos about, like things to do at Festival of the Arts. We'll have some stuff coming up about like Flower and Garden, things like that. So it's good. It's kind of like very condensed videos of things we talk about on the podcast. in like edited form, kind of like what YouTube is basically built on. So that's what we kind of do over there. And if you want even more content, you can check out some of the other shows. We have the CTM Universal Show, which was our show where we talk about Universal Studios. And then we have that twice a month. And we've done some tier lists over there as well. And the last show, we talked about all the things we kind of know about Epic Universe.
Yeah.
So we'll have a new show there coming out probably in a week or two. But again, that's twice a week, so check that out. And then Jamie has Trip Tales, which is her trip report show, and that she just had a new episode coming out on Monday.
I did. Yep. I'll have another one. It'll probably be mid-March when the next one comes out. So if you want to be on the show, you can go to ctmtriptales.com and fill out that form, and I will come to my email. And then if I'm interested in you as a guest, I will contact you.
Yes.
Yeah.
She will do that.
I will do it.
And and if you want even more content, again, Club 32, ctmvip.com is where you go for that. So that will do it for the show. So thank you, everybody, for listening and or watching. And thank you, Jamie, for joining us.
Thank you.
And as Jamie always likes to say,
we will see you in the parks.
Bye.